Hello, welcome to TRDR.tv. My name is Robert Sievers. Today we are here with Dr. Nelson Molina from McBillion.com. How are you doing today, Dr. Nelson Molina?
Hi, Robert. Nice to having me here.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Excellent.
All right. So shall we get started with the interview with the first question? Let's see. When did you first become interested in the financial markets?
Well, I was interested back in 2005. I
Okay.
really didn't trade about that time, but I was interested I was working in a gastroenterologist office because I'm a doctor, and there was a hedge fund next to my office, and there was
Okay.
these guys that were always laughing and having a good time. And one day I approached one of them and asked them, what you guys do? And they was like, no, we are, trading. And because I thought that they were fishermen, they
Yeah.
will, they were so happy and having a good time. So I asked them, and they told me, well, no, we trade. At that time, I didn't know anything about trading, but I started looking and reading about trading, and it called my attention like anybody else.
Awesome. So, what do you think first really drew you to the trading? Was it the fact that you saw them kind of happy, or that they had some extra time, or was it just
Well, the
the
first thing that yeah, the first thing that got me into trading is you start to looking into the market to make money. Like
Mhm.
many people looking for extra money.
Of course.
Looking for extra money to get out of your office and have more time with your family. And that was the first thing that called my attention. The second thing was the joy. When you are in a good trade, the joy that you feel just not because making money, but because you did a good job. It was very rewarding for me.
Yeah, because you beat the market. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
understand.
It's a game. It's a game. It's a very hard game to trade. It's a and but it's very rewarding when you do it right.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. So then, what did you do before you started trading? I mean, obviously you had your PhD or your doctorate. So
Yes, I'm
what?
a medical doctor,
Okay.
so I work. I'm a full time work for Yale University. I work in research
Okay.
mostly for the transplant center Yale, and it's very rewarding trading. I don't need to be in the computer all the time because I'm a swing trader.
All right.
I also teach and mentor for day trades because I do day trades. When I have a day off and when I'm home on vacation, I do day trade,
All right.
but mostly swing trades.
Mostly swing trades, obviously because it goes along well with your
Yes.
research position as well.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. And then do you think that the research position really helped you, kind of as a trader? You know, being able to do
Well, I
maybe
like to,
some your due
I like,
diligence, or
yes. When I start trading, I started like many people to start with penny stocks,
of course.
bank stocks. I start trading small stocks because at that time, back in 2009, when I really first put my first trade, my account was very small. So, you start by penny stocks.
Yeah.
And I discovered it was really bad. I recommend anybody to trade penny stocks. And then I went to the small stocks looking for more security, more something more reliable.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it either. So that's when I discovered the auctions. So, but
Okay.
auctions is hard also to trade, because you have to really control your emotions when you have those swings on the auctions and price fluctuations. It's not for everybody either. So I started to looking at there was a time on my trading when I start that I stopped. I say I have to stop here because something is not working. So I started paying people,
Okay.
following people, subscribing to websites. But I discovered that these people didn't want to teach you anything.
Yeah.
You ask them, hey, why do you enter this trade? They were like, just do it.
Yeah.
So that bothers me a lot. So I just dropped everything and I started reading books, taking webinars, paid webinars, free webinars. I started getting into mentoring from people. So I started to getting, a little bit from every mentor, a little bit for this one. I learned Fibonacci from this mentor that was excellent. He was in Miami in a in a online webinar that he put, and I got Fibonacci from him. Then I got DMI from another one.
Okay.
So then the other people lately, 2 years ago, I discovered this mentor. His name is Glendale. He's a trader. He's very tough, and he teach me about the psychology. That was the piece that was missing from this whole puzzle of learning trading that was very important for me when I learned this, because I think trading is 30 or 40% technical analysis, but the other huge 60% is psychology. You
Yeah.
know, so that gave me a improve my trading when he told me about this part of the psychology and how to control the emotions, how to get ready before the market opens, how to think with when the trade goes against you. When the trade goes against you, and especially if you are using auctions,
Yeah.
it's very hard because you have to control your emotions, to keep that position.
Maintain
Or,
that
yeah,
discipline.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
of course.
it's very interesting.
Awesome. Let's see. Well, yeah, one of the next kind of questions I was going to ask you was basically what kind of assets you typically trade. But I mean, it seems like you sort of answered that question. It seems like you started out kind of with the penny stocks and then moved on to the bank ones, and now you're doing a little bit of options. What would you say what would you say was your favorite, or what would you say that you trade now the most? I guess is what I would like to ask you.
So I have a list of blue chip stocks like Apple, Facebook, Disney, General Electric, Caterpillar. I have a list like 40 or 50 stocks that I trade, and
Okay.
I trade them because the probability of the stocks to move my way, the way I trade, because I trade breakdowns, and it's high probability.
Okay.
And you trade other stocks. There are other stocks that are very hard to trade, like Tesla, like Amazon, because they're very manipulated, um, in a bad way sometimes if you're on the wrong side.
You
So
can
I
get
like
into a
to
lot of
trade like
trouble.
Apple. I trade Apple a lot
Okay.
because when Apple break out, and you can make money. And you can use your X's and your targets based on Fibonacci. So that's how I trade.
Okay.
And the things that I use auctions. I use naked auctions.
Okay.
I'm already starting to use other technical strategies like spreads and other, but I trade very simple naked auctions. One way, if you run, you're good. If you run, you get out. You have your stop loss, and that's when you have to control your emotions and honor your stock when something is wrong. Because one of the things that I tell my members or my friends, and they become my friends, I tell
That's
them
good.
that this part of the emotions is, when you run, you have to get out.
Yeah.
Many people in trading don't know how to control this, because when they run, they don't want to be run, not even if they're feeling the pain of losing money. So they keep in the trade. It's so that you have to control really good.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult to try to find. I think that easy medium in between kind of being stubborn, and not admitting that your trade was wrong, but also admitting, having that fear. As soon as the trade starts to turn against you, you have to be able to tell when
Yep.
it's really turning against you and when you've lost too much and when it's time to pull out, as opposed to when it's going to turn back around again. And if it's just turned around against you for a couple minutes. So
Yeah. So
I
part of the psychology, you have to use risk management.
yeah.
Because if you don't have you have a wrong position, you have too much in a position, it will be very difficult for you to control your emotions. If you have a 20% of your account in one position, and that position goes against you, you're gonna feel really bad. You're gonna
Yeah.
have a stomach ache. You're gonna
Yeah.
have a headache. You're not gonna sleep. But if you
No.
have 2% or 5% of your account in one position, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be just another trade. You're gonna follow your plan. If it goes against you, you get out, and that's it.
Yeah, you'll be able to
You,
think of it more from like a logical perspective, obviously, because you don't have as much of your capital at risk. So yeah, I think that's a very important thing for a lot of beginning traders to really learn and make sure that they realize before they really start to lose too much money or to risk too much money really. So let's move on. The next question I wanted to ask was how long does a typical trade last? And I know you said you kind of sometimes do the day trading when you have days off, but how long does a typical necessarily like a swing trade last for you?
yeah, the swing trades for me it can last in one day.
Okay.
I can close the position next day if I get because I trade breakouts. If we enter in a breakout, let's say on Tuesday afternoon, and Wednesday morning, I see that this position is 50, 80% up, and using auctions is very possible. I close the trade. I take the profits.
Yeah, that's good.
But I see some traders move slowly, and I keep a target. I use Fibonacci.
Okay.
So I usually look for my target, and I close half of the position, 25% of the position, and I keep a runner. A runner is a very small position that I just leave it there until I hit my target. But I'm the one of the thing that you have to take profits. The last 2015 was horrible for swing trades because
Yeah.
if you see the S&P, we trade inside this rectangle for the whole year until it break down at the beginning of 2016, and
Yeah.
now many people don't know what is going to happen. It's now trending up, but with very low volume, like I told you. So it's very hard.
No, I definitely agree with you. I think one of the sayings that I learned was that traders never go broke taking profits. So
Yeah,
as long as you're making a little bit of profits, and you're taking it out and you're not holding it until all of a sudden it swings all the way back, then I totally agree with you in that aspect. So it's important to make sure that you take the profit when you have it, not necessarily with 100% of your position, but with at least maybe a quarter or 50% of it. So.
yeah.
Um, so it's important. What kind of returns do you usually make, like say on like a yearly basis, if
In
you
a year
feel
basis,
comfortable, of
I
course.
would say 42%,
Okay.
58%. That has been my last 2 years.
Wow.
So I believe in building your account little by little.
Oh, that's
Little, I
yeah.
see a lot of scams in the internet, and I mentioned it to you that the people are telling you that with $5,000 account you're gonna make millions. That's a whole BS.
Yeah.
You want me to tell you? And many people are getting scammed, thinking of having that mentality and going to penny stocks and losing their money, the hard-earned money. So if somebody is watching this show, and I can tell you that that's a scam, and it's better to build your account little by little. Try to build an account and have a good account, and trade like that, and trade little by little, making money little by little. Many people start trading in 1 month and 2 months, they burn the account, and that's what they get out, and they start saying, oh, this is not for me, this is not for anybody, this is a scam, this is manipulation. No, it's because you have to trade small. You have to look for a long-term target. If you have a $20,000 or $50,000 account, if you finish more than 20%, you're good. You're doing good.
Yeah.
You're building your account so you can put more money, a little more money, and so that's how you grow, little by little. So in 5 years, you're not gonna have a $50,000. You're gonna have a 120,000. So that's how I tell the people that goes into my website, and I start pushing them into that mentality, even though it's very hard. People wants money the next
Of
day.
course.
They want to make money right now.
Yeah, but then if that's what they're looking for, then they should go to Las Vegas or the local lottery place. So it's
Yeah,
this is how the professional traders do it. It happens day by day. Slowly building and slowly just a couple percent at a time. So it's important. I think that a lot of the people who are just learning to trade kind of get that to learn that ideal and aren't manage their expectations basically on kind of what their what
yeah.
their what their profits are going to look like.
I see many people that they wanted to be a full-time day traders. It's not for everybody. I try that.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. It requires a lot of discipline. It requires a lot of mental mentality, and it requires a lot of your time. It's not like you go trade and you have to work hard to be a day trader. And to be a day trader, also, I found out that just by being by yourself at your house, day trading is not for everybody. I believe if you find a group like a hedge fund, or you find a group that you guys can trade together, it's better than to believe that you're gonna be trading, in your house by yourself,
Yeah.
doing trades, especially if you don't have a second income, because it's gonna be really hard because your income, everything that you trade is gonna pay the bills.
Yeah.
So how are you gonna do? When things are wrong, you start being thinking that you have to pay bills, but your money is in the market, so you're gonna close positions that you're not supposed to close. So when people come to me and say, I wanted to be a day trader, I wanted to be a full-time trader. So I start telling you, it's hard, it's not easy. I recommend you to keep your job,
Yeah.
do swing
Just
trades, start learning little by little, and if you're doing really good, put them, money, the numbers don't lie. If you start doing really good, then you can think about leaving your job, but don't leave your job. Learn first, try it first, have that second income. It helps you a lot.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you in that aspect, and also with the idea of kind of having a, especially when you're starting out, to have like a room that you can kind of bounce ideas off of, sort of say, I like Apple today, I think it's trending up, and then have a couple different groups of people that you can kind of bounce those ideas off of, and figure out if people are thinking along the same lines as you, or if you have just completely misread the charts. And so I was kind of wondering, is that where the idea for McBillion kind of came from? The McBillion.com. I was reading a little bit about about
Yeah.
me, and I kind of saw that that was a little bit of the stuff that you were kind of talking about. Was looking for just like a group to kind of bounce people off of, and then you ended up kind of teaching a couple people. So can you tell us a little bit about McBillion.com?
So when I start 2009, when I would start really to do good in trades, I start by posting my trades on TRDR.tv. So I found that it was really rewarding that people started coming to me and say, "Hey, thank you very much." And I start telling them, why I entered, why I exit. They were happy. They were very happy with me, and that's when I have to, thought about creating this website. Putting this website to help people. And the main idea of this website was that because I follow a lot of blue chip stocks, and I couldn't follow all of them, and I miss a lot of breakouts. And so I think, what about if I train people, and we have a lot of people trading together. So that's what I'm doing right now, and we all share our ideas.
Okay.
You can tell me, hey, look, Nelson, look at this Apple is breaking out. Look at Amazon, because you cannot watch all of those charts all day long,
No, of course
especially
not.
if you have a second job.
Yeah.
But if you have many people trading that are trained, and they're good, because the first phase is train, and know that person, because I have to tell you, no everybody is good for trading. There are some people that you can tell them, you can train in day and night, but they
Yeah.
never become good traders. Never. So it's not for everybody. Because why? Because the emotions. Second, because people have a couple dollars in their accounts, and the first thing is they want to jump in even when there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So the discipline to stay out of the market and watch, and to be disciplined and enter only when it's necessary to enter, when you have a high probability to make money. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm training people. I had in Facebook and Twitter. So
Okay.
when they see something, they just send the idea. Hey, look at what happened to Netflix. It just break out this Fibonacci level. You go turn to the chart. Oh, really? Boom. Let's enter them. So that's the mentality that has been the same. That like create a group of many traders.
Okay.
And it's like a hedge fund. It's like a hedge fund. That's how they trade in a hedge fund. You think in a hedge fund they trade, there's one person or two persons trading.
No.
No, there's a bunch of people trading. They get together in the morning. They have meetings before the market opens. They talk about it first, and when they see something, they share the ideas between of them, because they're not these hedge funds are connected with other hedge funds.
Yeah.
So when they go in, they have a high probability. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
My target for my billion is make $1 billion.
Okay.
That's my target.
I saw that by 2020, I think.
Yeah, for 2020. So
Okay.
I'm sure I have to open a hedge fund. I'm working with some friends to open a hedge fund for that. And the Mac is because I trade with my MacBook.
Okay.
Some people come to me and say, "Oh, do you have to have those many monitors that traders have?" They say, "No, you don't have to have many monitors.
No.
You can have a simple laptop, and that's it. That's all you need. You don't need many monitors." So that's my idea. The Mac, for the Mac, I'm trading with my MacBook. And the $1 billion is my target for 2020.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. And again, I agree with you. There's power in numbers. Having the ability to, like I said, bounce ideas off different people, and also have them to kind of, like check your work, or to find different ideas. It's much it's much more powerful, and it's much more profitable, obviously, than just kind of doing it yourself. You have a whole team.
Well, it's kind of what you have in your platform. That you connecting people
Yeah.
in your platform, which is, I think, is great. I love your platform.
Thank you.
And connecting a lot of people, especially new traders, and you connecting with good traders so they can learn. So my advice to those new traders is look for a mentor, look for a person that can teach you, that have the time to teach you and show you. And I tell people that I don't teach them how to trade. I give them tools. So because you have to build your own system,
Yeah.
not my system, not anybody's system. So the system that works for you is gonna be unique because you're gonna connect the system to your feelings, to your emotions. So that's how you build a very good system.
Yeah, it has to be something kind of personalized, I think,
Yeah,
something that's going to
personal.
fit almost your trading personality, your ability to discipline yourself, your ability to have confidence in your trades. And
Exactly.
obviously, if you're doing kind of the constructing of your strategy yourself, if you're building the strategy yourself, you're going to have more confidence in it, more of the ability to kind of remain disciplined. And so it's definitely important. And I totally agree with you. So thank you very much, Dr. Nelson Molina. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share with us today about McBillion.com, or maybe a little
Well,
bit more
the
about
only
your
thing is
strategy?
check it out. If you need mentoring, if you want to join my group, I'm open to receive new people. I feel very happy when I get new traders, and because I like to train them, I take the time to sit down with them online, and I like to teach them because what I'm looking for is you give me an alert back to me and say, look at this, so I can make money.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of the cool things, especially about your site, is that you're looking not necessarily exactly only for students. You're also looking for equals. You're looking for people to be a
Yeah,
part of the McBillion.com website, part of the McBillion.com group.
yeah,
So, it's one of the cool things that I think separates you from a couple of the other education websites that are out there. And so, for all of our users, that are kind of looking for a little bit of a support, some a group to bounce ideas off of, I highly recommend checking out McBillion.com. Thank you very much, Dr. Nelson Molina, for joining us. I really appreciate that.
thanks for having me, Robert.
Of course. Thank you
Good
very
luck.
much.
I'm
Have
glad
a
to
nice
come to
day.
your side. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us here at Trader TV. That was Dr. Nelson Molina from McBillion.com. Thank you again. I wish you the best of luck with your trades. Please check out Trader TV and have a nice day.
Thank you.